Well, it's super cool. So I was in Hong Kong for a training camp with Israel and Siobhan and Tom Rushton, those guys. And then I went over to Fukuoka for the competition. There had the Cal guys with the U.S. team. We had the Israel guys. We had several other international people from Berkeley that were there. So I think we had about 20 people on the deck from some kind of Berkeley alignment, and then another 14 from Israel. So it was a wonderful meet. The Cal athletes ended up bringing home 20 medals, which is unbelievable. 20 medals, and bust out names with Lexi and Dare, and Destin didn't have the meet he wanted, but he's still a hot name now and doing some really good work. Yeah, he did a great job. Abby had a good meet, but we all know she's going to be better. So I think there's more in the tank there for the future. I think that she learned a lot. She was at 35 meters with Sarah, even though Sarah won by a lot. I think we can work on that. So a lot of things to be learned. It was an educational event at Worlds. Then the next week I flew down to Dublin, did a week vacation with my family. All three grown-up kids came. Great time in Dublin. Then went up to the under 23 and was watching the under 23, helping out with Israel. And then finally back to San Francisco. So it was about a month and a half out of town. But a great time. I feel like I'm full of swimming thoughts right now. I think it's a lot of new fun stuff. I've worked with Ching before in San Diego, and I've worked with the flyer from China before in some camps and things. And so I've had the connection with the ISL people who swam really fast. Cam McAvoy, we're all sort of processing what happened there. And honestly, even Jack Alexi's a little bit of, okay, that was really super cool what happened. To move to the second fastest American is really nice. Now to take the next step, what's that going to look like? Because Jack has raised his game, as Dare has, and a lot of the guys and ladies at Cal have over this past year. And how do we do that more intentionally moving into the Olympic Games? And that's the number one thing on Dave's agenda and my agenda right now, is to try to help elevate that and see if we can't get all those guys that have begun to move and the ladies that have moved to the next level to step one more level up. Because then we're talking about medal potential at the Olympics and USA Olympic team potential, and that's ultimately the big goal. The biggest thing going in Olympic year, I think, is the poise to know when to strike. So the people who are medaling are going through the prelims, semis, and finals in a strategic way, not in just an all-out emotional, all-out physical, second round all-out emotional, all-out physical. There's a strategy to moving through those rounds and to have the ability to bring out your best in the finals. And we need our best in the relays as well. If Team USA is going to get back on the top of the podium, we've got to have that happen collaboratively, and hopefully that will. But as far as the only thing we can control is Berkeley, and in the Berkeley situation, our goal would be to have that medley relay be intact as it is now. We would like it to be obviously 3 or 4 Berkeley people. I'm sure we have a breaststroke quite at that Finks level yet, but I feel like there's a chance for the USA to learn from this meet, because the depth was really good. We just didn't get the gold medals we want to get, and we're used to getting, and we really need to get, we should get. So that level of improvement, we feel like Berkeley has a responsibility and the potential to impact that. And that's what we'll focus on this year. My other takeaway from the World Championships was watching team settings. I really felt like the Australians were very collaborative in their coaching staff. You saw a real harmony there. You saw the Chinese really come alive as a team. They remind me of Japan about 10 years ago, when Japan went from this isolated team to a team that looked like they were having a good time at the meet. And that's kind of dangerous, because they have a lot of potential on that team. And then you have the amazing epic swims of Ruta and Sarah Sostrom, who just are these mature human beings showing that we can swim into our 30s, and they can you can get better if you're taking good care of yourself. Mentally, in Ruta's case, amazing story from her mental health challenges to now. She's doing a lot of her training on her own, and a lot of her own self-directed stuff is really working well for her. And you see all those sort of individual nuggets, and as I see that, it gets me very excited to know that our sport is maturing and growing at a global level. We just need to do that in the U.S. a little bit more. It's going to be a challenge because we do need to go through an NCAA season. That's back to 25 yards, which is not 50 meters. And one thing I have certainly picked up is that racing really well in 25 meters does not necessarily carry over to 50 meters at all. You have to really be intentional about 50-meter preparation and then do 25-yard racing as a sort of college responsibility or your fun thing you get to do, but take care of your 50-meter training.